That's why you call a hybrid, huh?
I know. These? They do? Okay. That's it.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming to today's monthly Shotsuki service and Gotan-e service. Today's service is also being live cast, live streamed on YouTube. So for those people watching on the YouTube side, welcome also. We have had a lot of problem doing live streaming over the last couple of months due to the internet problem. Hopefully today we're doing a little bit differently, so hopefully it'll stay stable. Otherwise, you can always watch the YouTube at a later time. Today's service is Gotan-e, where we honor the birthday of Shinran Shonin, founder. He was born on May 21, 1173. And he passed away on January 16, 1263 at the age of 89. Sometimes it's listed as 90. So when he was at 51 years old, in 1224, he finished writing the Kyoto Shinsho, his main work after many years of working on it. And this 1224 is considered to be the founding year of Kyoto Shinshu practice. So in the year 2024, 2 years from now, we'll be celebrating 800th year of the founding of Kyoto Shinshu. So both in Nisho Honganji and also in Gassho Honganji, there are many important events being planned for this occasion. I think Fujinkai Haikai is also planned to be held in Japan as well. And at the same time, in 2024, we will be celebrating a 100-year celebration of founding the War Temple. So it's kind of an auspicious occasion for temple and Kyoto Shinshu. 今日の法要は5月の正月法要とご誕生法要となっています。ご誕生とは親鸞聖人の誕生日を祝う行事です。親鸞聖人は1173年5月21日にも生まれています。そして亡くなられたのは1263年1月16日、89歳でした。親鸞聖人が51歳の時、1224年、長年の執筆を得て、郷土新宗の基礎になる郷土新書を書き終えて、この年が郷土新宗の創立の年とされています。2024年には、郷土新宗創立800周年を迎え、西、そして東本願寺でも創立記念の行事がされてあります。そして同時に2024年はサリナスお寺の100年記念でもあります。このサービスは今日は親戚先生が行われます。先生のオープニングからスタートします。So we will start with the opening invocation and the reading by Sensei.
Please join me in Gassho. It is evident that Shinran Shonin was a manifestation of Amida Nyorai. Therefore, his teaching must be regarded as a direct communication of Amida, which is on one hand to dispel the darkness of this defiled world by means of the pure light of wisdom, and on the other to give the necessary moisture by spreading down the spiritual rain of nectar to us who are ignorant and confused and dying of dryness of heart. So let us in adoration believe this. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
So next we will be singing the Gata Shinran Sama on page 240. Please rise. So we will do some video, page 24, followed by dedication by something to get on page 79. During the something to get, I will be calling out the names of the Shotsuki family, so please come up as you are called to do the short call. Good.
Today on this occasion of the Salinas Buddhist Temple, May Shotsuki and the observance of Gotan-e celebrating the birth of our founder Shinran Shonin. The Sangha has reverently come before me, the Buddha, in memory of their beloved family members, and to express deepest gratitude to Shinran Shonin and the members of each. With our firm belief that those who have lived and died are always embraced with Buddha's great compassion, we recite the Namitsu, Namo Kia Boots, Namo Kia Hoga, Namo Kia So. I go to the Buddha for guidance, I go to the Dharma for guidance, I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namma Nam, Namma Nam.
This is it's over. Nago. Mr. and Mrs. Akito Nishakamada. Mrs. Nobu Nishakamada. Mr. and Mrs. Kenji Oishi. Mr. and Mrs. Ryocho Nishika. Mr. Jim Sakasegawa. Mr. and Mrs. Yoshihiro Shinhira. Mr. and Mrs. John Shioya. Mrs. Kumi Kashiro. Mr. and Mrs. Hiroshi Wota. Mr. and Mrs. Herbert Wong. Mr. and Mrs. Kiyoshi Nemitsu. Mr. and Mrs. Koichiro Yanemitsu. I left out anybody, please come forward now. I would like to have Daido Oshoko, the representative co-representative. Salinas Dharma School is right here? No?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, Salinas YBA, Jack, I think you were up here already, but maybe you could do it again. Salinas Buddhist Women's Association by Carol Cisneros. Okay, finally, Buddhist Temple Salinas by Andy Gilbert. Thank you. Now we'll have a reading of Gassho, three treasures, page 6 to 8, then followed by Dharma Liturgy and Commercial by Sunset.
Sankhya Injin Kigadashi Imasudani Yuku Guppo Kigadashi Imasudani Kiku Konomikon Joni Mukate Dose Zumba Sarani Isure no Shoni Mukatega Konomi no Dose Taishu Borosomoni Shini Samboni Kieshi Tatimatsu Deshi Yuzukara Butsuni Kieshi Tatematsu Masani Gawa Shijodo Tumoni Aido Naigeshi Yono Sosan Yuzukara Boni Kieshi Tatematsu Masani Gawa Shijodo Tumoni Fakugyo Zoni Kieshi Yono Yuzukara Soni Kieshi Tatematsu Masani Gawa Shijodo Tumoni Reishu o Tori Sayin Geran Mujo Jinjin Yono Owa Yakusen Mango Nimo Ayo Kotokadashi Morima Pen Monoshi Yuji Surukoto Etari Negawaku wa Rai no Shinjitsu Gi Yogeshi Tate Matsudan. Artists could be born into now we live. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear. If we do not realize the truth of this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. When we absorb ourselves in the principle of awakening enlightenment, and awaken in ourselves the supreme good. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depth of the doctrine, gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony with the great assembly of disciples of Buddha, and be free from all hindrances, become units of pure accord, and the life of harmony, the spirit of universal oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriads of ages of kalpas, artists to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I see all of you here for May Shotsuki Hoyo and celebration of Gotan-e, the birth of Shinran Shonin. I'm glad to be here too. I noticed when I sat down, this whole half of the home was completely full. Gary and Andy are sitting by themselves. If we were a boat, we'd be capsized. This way I can look in one direction. I don't have to turn my head. Mike put the jacket in there and sit there. Yeah. But I'm so happy to be here today. You know, I'm kind of a weenie. About 2 weeks ago I got sick, and I was testing daily to see if it was COVID, but it wasn't COVID, it was coming out negative, but I kept testing, and I kept getting negative results, but I still felt really bad. And so I'm kind of crying and moaning to my wife, and she's saying, "You're such a baby, you need to buck up, you need to, be a man." I don't want to be a man. I feel so bad. But during that time, what was happening to me was I'm thinking in my head, okay, I've got COVID, but all the tests come back negative. Okay, I don't have COVID. Okay, maybe I've got cancer. But it's not cancer. Maybe I've got some foreign kind of thing going on, and I'm near my deathbed, right? So I'm thinking as I'm laying in bed with this fever, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to give my golf clubs to my son, I'm going to give my books to my fellow ministers. What am I going to do with my robes? I guess I could send them out to other ministers, and what about all my albums and my music? What am I going to do with all this? So I'm thinking about all these things I'm going to deal with my stuff, right? If I die. Of course, here I am, I'm not dead. So I'm clinging to these things still. But, this is what we call anxiety, right? In life. We get anxious about things. We get a little bit sick, we start to think all these worst case scenarios. So we get anxiety over it. We start to think about then all of the other things that we should be doing rather than, feeling sorry for ourselves. So anxiety comes in the form when we get sick, but also it comes in just everyday things, our thoughts and our words and our actions. Now, you don't have to raise your hand when I ask these questions, but how many of us at some time or other think bad thoughts? How many of us sometimes think about or complain about someone? Maybe it's someone at school or someone at work or someone here in the temple. Maybe we complain about them. Maybe not to their face, but in our minds we think, "Oh boy, there he goes again, there he goes again." We complain. Now, that creates anxiety because if you're like most people, you start to feel a little bit guilty about those thoughts, those words, those actions. And that causes anxiety. So, if you could answer yes to any of those questions, have you thought bad thoughts? Have you complained about someone? Have you monked about someone? Have you even thought about, get anxious about your thoughts and words and actions, how they might affect someone else? If you've ever said yes to any of those, then you need the members. You need what Shinran is presenting to us. Because Buddhism doesn't tell us how we should act, but Buddhism is telling us that we understand that you get anxious. We understand that there's anxieties that are part of everyday life. And the Buddha accepts us just as we are, despite the fact that we have these anxieties. Shinran, he referred to himself as a bald, ignorant fool. That's because he had anxieties too. He had the same things that we experience today. And that's why he called himself Goto, the bald-headed fool. even people who we think are wonderful, great people, the Dalai Lama, other people have said, I have sinned in my heart. I may not have done anything, physically, verbally, but in my heart, I have done these bad things. So our lives are the result of numerous causes and conditions, and we determine our future each moment that we're alive, and each thought, each word, each action. Sometimes we might say, gosh, I don't know what made me say that. I don't know why I said that, but we just blurt things out. We can't separate sometimes our thoughts and words or actions. So the point that I want to try to make today is that Shinran Shonin's teachings of Namu Amida Butsu are for those of us who possess anxiety, bad thoughts, words, actions. When we know this truly about ourselves, we can start to examine ourselves, and we can see then the value of Shinran Shonin and the May Butsu. But Shinran Shonin's teachings of Namu Amida Butsu is meant for people like you and me. We may think that we're good, we may think that we're even perfect, but we may not do bad things outwardly, but we do think about it. It might be in our hearts or our minds. And Namu Amida Butsu, it is meant for people just like that. That's exactly how Shinran felt. And that's why we celebrate his birthday. Because his teachings are so important. Because it's telling us, it's teaching us about ourselves. Through his life, we can hear this beautiful teaching and achieve stability. We can achieve peace of mind. So anyone who has anxiety, this teaching is for them. I'm going to share, as I get older, I start to reflect back on my life. And maybe it's the product of age. I'm 70 this year. And start to tell stories about the good old days, years and years ago. So I was recalling how I had graduated from the Institute of Buddhist Studies, and we were going to go to Japan. I'm going to go to Japan and study for the next 3.5 years. So I'm at the airport, and my parents are there, my teachers are there, my friends, my brothers and sisters. There's a whole group of people to wish me farewell. And this is the days when you could go actually to the gate of the airport. And so they're all at the gate saying goodbye, and my mother, she comes shuffling up and she gives me this little wrinkled old brown bag in front of everybody. I was totally embarrassed. I said, what is this? She goes, this is your lunch. And I said, Mom, they have lunch on the plane. She goes, oh, just in case you might get free lunch. So in my mind, I'm thinking, how embarrassing in front of all these people, my teachers, the president of the school, and everybody. She's giving me this wrinkled old brown bag. Right at that moment, my thoughts, even my words, my mother, what is this? And my actions destroyed my mother. Destroyed my mother. But let me explain this. By the way, it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which to this day is probably my favorite sandwich because it reminds me of my mother. But in Jodo Shinshu, what's of paramount importance is Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu is representative of the vows of Amida Buddha. And these vows are examples of suchness, or conditions of truth, the truth of our lives. Okay? That's what Namu Amida Butsu represents. So these examples of conditions of truth are called vows, because they're a movement towards our lives. Not away from us, but towards us. And through numerous causes and conditions, we've been born into this world. And through numerous causes and conditions, we're able to live this life. And this movement towards me It sustains my life. It supports my life. And that's Dharma and Buddhism. And each one of these vows, it offers a direction for us in life, for all beings towards a life of stability, a life of peace of mind. And of course, the most important of these vows is the one that Shinran emphasizes, the 18th vow of the Buddha, which represents the stability and peace of mind that the truth of life offers, great compassion. It is very simply stated that stability and peace of mind and the realization of pure life shall be attained by all those who possess a sincere and trusting mind. In essence, those who have entered the embrace of Dharma Buddhism shall be granted stability and peace of mind and realize the state of purity, except those who have committed the 5 grave offenses. Those 5 grave offenses are killing your mother, killing your father, killing an arahat, or like a saint, and killing a Buddha, drawing blood from the Buddha, or causing disharmony in the Sangha. These are the 5 grave offenses. So I'm thinking about my own life, without a doubt, through my thoughts, through my words, through my actions. I've been guilty of committing all 5 of them. Not literally, but in my mind and in my heart. Think of this. That's how, when I talked to my mother at the airport that day, I felt I had destroyed my mother. Her kindness and her care about me was in her heart, and yet I destroyed it. So again, it's explained by Shinran, this 18th vow represents the power of truth itself in offering stability and peace of mind to all sentient beings. It explicitly says, excluding those who commit the 5 grave offenses. Therefore, again, without a doubt, as a result of my thoughts and my words and my actions, I've been guilty of destroying my mother. So how could I, someone like me, be or realize the pure life, realize the light? This brings to mind a quotation from Shinran, who said, since I am incapable of any practice whatsoever, hell is definitely my abode. So Buddhism teaches us that the realm of hell is a creation of our own thoughts, our own words, our own actions. Our life is an endless cycle of greed, anger, and jealousy. So as I reflect on my own feelings, this is certainly the condition of my own existence. I have desires, I get angry, I possess envy. So how can I function as a follower of the Buddha? How can I function as a minister? This may sound strange, but it is here in that dilemma that I had encountered the infinite compassion of the Buddha. So a parent's love knows no barrier. Oftentimes we hear parents, might be screaming at their children or yelling at us. If you're not back in time, you don't get any dinner. You don't eat all your dinner, you won't get any dessert. If you don't do all your homework, you won't be able to watch TV, you won't be able to play on the computer, blah, blah, blah. But of course we know such statements, they're not just meaningless threats. They are the outbursts of love and compassion. They are meant to emphasize that which is most important. It is important to come home on time, it's important to do your homework, it's important to eat healthy, etc. This is also the case with the 18th vow. In fact, the 18th vow is meant explicitly for those who commit those 5 grave offenses. The wisdom, passion of the Buddha is directed specifically towards those like Shinran, who says, I dwell in hell because of my greed, my anger, my jealousy. That is why we say the compassion of the Buddha comes to those who need it the most. What is most important is that we enter the embrace of non-moral Buddhism. What is most important is that we strive for attainment of the pure life. So in conclusion, therefore, deep inside, we may think that in the long run we shall be excluded because of some of our thoughts and our words and our actions. Because maybe we're not well behaved. But Shinran Shonin's teachings of non-moral Buddhism are meant for people just like you, just So deepest gratitude to Shinran and the members. Please once again join me in that show. It is evident that the Shonin was a manifestation of Amida Nirvana. Therefore, his teaching must be regarded as a direct communication of Amida, which is on one hand to dispel the darkness of the defiled world by means of the pure light of wisdom, and on the other to give the necessary moisture by sending down the spiritual rain of nectar to us who are ignorant, confused, and dying of dryness of heart. So let us in adoration believe this. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo. I'd like to share with you the Gassho Shonin's Kobuchi. Shonin Nichiyu no Gotan-e no Momuki wa Shuni no Motte Hanto Sanare Sono Sono Yue wo Moro no Zogi o Nageste Ishin ni Midaki no Sebo Dashi no Gan Mikito Shite No Kate Yori Ojo wa Chijo Sashimeta mo Sono Kurai記念法記入賞状始終とも釈し、その上の称名年部愛和が往生定めたまいし、本法人の年部と心べきなり、あなかしこ、あなかしこ。Shinran Shonin taught that the essence of Jodo Shinshu is Shinji. Reasons that by abandoning all other practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal God. This is known as entering the ranks of the truly assured at the very moment of Shinran. Thereafter, all utterances of Nembutsu should be understood only as expressions of gratitude for Amida's assurance of our spiritual rebirth. With reverence, I remain. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.
Please rise for Gatha Ondok Sanju on page 220. I'd like to thank following people for Osonai by Mr. and Mrs. Mitsumori Kuranga, Sweets by Mr. and Mrs. Kenji Oishi, and following people for refreshments that will be provided in the gym after the service. Mr. and Mrs. Kanyaki Hariara, Mr. and Mrs. Tatsumitsu Kuramura, Ms. Machiko Miyanaga, Mr. and Mrs. Yoshihiro Shinhira, Mr. and Mrs. John Shiroya, Mrs. Kumi Tashiro, and Ms. Mariko Yamashita. So, a couple of announcements that I'd like to make. Next week, we will be having a Memorial Day service. This will be held on Monday, May 30th, at the Garden of Memories. This is at the corner of Abbott and Romy at 10 o'clock. And 11 o'clock, there will be a service at the Yamato Cemetery. So you can come for those two events. It would be very, very nice and appreciated. Also like to remind people that we will be combining the June and July Shotsuki service together. So it's because July is many days that we won't have the service. So we'll be announcing that on our newsletter. In the month of June, the most important service will be on June 19th, which is Lady Takeko Kujo Memorial Service. And this will be led by the BWA. The other days, June 5th, will be there will be a service here, but there will not be an in-person service on the 12th. Both of these will be streamed live for that. In any case, we will be announcing the June schedule in the newsletter once it's finalized, so please pay attention to that. Let's see. So basically, this concludes today's service. Thank you for coming. Please do the Oshoko before you file out. So as mentioned earlier, we will be having refreshments in the gym afterwards. So please come by and enjoy. Okay, thank you again for coming today. I'd like to mention that I'd like to thank Jack, organ for playing the organ today. He volunteered for this, so we appreciate it very much.
bag? With 우리가 이게 기분이네.
It was complaining, but it never failed. So it complains, but it never stopped. Like last time, it just kind of spit and it's, and I do have a recording going too, so it's still on. Because I wanted to see how many people attended. So, I can't take pictures. I can't take pictures without my camera, my phone. So, well, the internet, I think, made a difference.
So it's supposed to be a free concert. Yeah. What is it?
How'd it go? Well, that's good.
It's complaining, but I think the internet helped it. That's why we have the cables.
Yeah, they did.
It's complaining.
Maybe I'll be
It's not
there.
our internet speed. It's still not, if you don't have the internet. You see how slow it is? That was you walking by. It's about.
Oh, it's okay. I got it. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No,
What time?
no, I'm gonna get my friend. My flight's not till midnight, so my friend's gonna drop me off at airport. So I'm just gonna hang out at international airport. Jump.